Caution. This podcast is designed for mature audiences. We delve into topics surrounding sexuality and intimate relationships in a candid and open manner. Please note that we are not licensed marriage or sex therapists, and the content shared here is intended solely for entertainment and informational purposes. If you are under 18 years old or prefer not to engage in explicit discussions about sex, relationships, or mature language, we advise against proceeding further. However, if you're of legal age and comfortable with such content, feel free to settle in, grab a beverage, and enjoy this episode. Just remember, time flies when you're having fun. Oh, and the stories you are about to hear are true. The names have been changed to protect the guilty.
Welcome to Beyond Monogamy, where every episode is a journey of discovery, liberation, and endless possibility. Join your hosts Roger Johnson and Janet Valentine as they peel back the layers of convention, inviting you into a world where passion knows no boundaries. Beyond Monogamy, a podcast that transcends the traditional norms of relationships to uncover the raw, unfiltered stories about the lifestyle. And now, your hosts, Roger Johnson and Janet Valentine.
Okay.
Or no, it was the word.
We're going to try to get started. Welcome to Beyond Monogamy, the podcast, obviously. I'm Janet Valentine.
I'm Roger Johnson.
I'm Barbie Triple E.
And I'm Steve.
And first we were going to be on the back porch, and now I hear we're going to be in the front porch. So we're back to sitting around a bunch of swingers on the front porch. Some of us retired, some of us kind of in, some of us not. So let's go ahead and get started. I know that let's get to the fun of the matter. Steve, you want to start with your word?
Of course.
And news and word?
I will do the word first. This is not a pleasant one, but it does fit in the lifestyle. It's called the Arkansas Knuckleball.
Arkansas Knuckleball. Is that when the brother and sister go at it and do like fist up the ass?
Plausible.
Oh my God.
Plausible.
Oh my goodness, that's great.
Wow.
I can see it.
Yeah. Yeehaw!
Why does it have the word Arkansas in it?
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, here it is.
Does it imply missing teeth?
No.
Oh,
Well, it may. It may imply
Now-
missing teeth after you hear what this is.
No, I want
Okay.
anybody who's listening from Arkansas. I love you. I love your state. You've had a couple of fantastic parties that I've been to there. Just
I was
saying,
going to say they have a good
good
swingers group. Yeah,
Good
anyway, so-
lifestyle.
and that
Yeah.
we're just kidding. Okay, all right, Steve, go ahead.
Okay. So here's the Arkansas Knuckleball. When you're engaging in sex with a woman from behind in the vagina, a quick, sudden, and forceful penetration into the ass, often occurring as an accident. It also occurs as a, how do you do, to simply rings her bell. But and knuckleball is when you actually go in, you're pounding hard, like I'm sure Roger's done and I've done, and you slip
Right.
out of the pussy and go in the ass by accident. Not a pleasant experience for the lady.
Now,
Oh
gonna
yeah,
wait.
now I know the old
No, wake your
Arkansas
up.
knuckleball.
Yeah.
Wake you right up.
there is a guy in the area that I'm currently in now that is notorious for doing this and acting like, oh, I'm sorry, it was an accident. But all the women have told each other, like we said, we talk in the bathrooms, hey, don't let him do this because this guy, and I can't say his name because he'll be so pissed because he may be listening. Don't let him do this because he has a tendency to want to fuck you in the ass and then act like, oh, I'm sorry, it was an accident. I was meaning to hit you in this way. And then I accidentally shoved it all in fast.
Wow.
But wait,
Okay.
and then pull it back out and then start fucking your pussy again?
No, he would
I mean-
try then to continue. As long as I'm here, I might as well finish, blah, blah, blah. It was so bullshit. And the thing is that people at parties began to know. He was also a host of a party. So women stopped going to this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I know I've been uninvited to one of his parties. In fact, he was at a party that Dee and I were at. he was hosting the party. That was his MO, definitely. Okay, so
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah.
That's not. That's just
Yeah.
rude.
It is.
I'd say if you've ever been in a secure building where you probably have to have some credentials to get in the front door, and then there's certain areas you don't get in, and like so that's just another level of security. I'd say anal is another level of consent.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh,
there may
yes.
be a group playroom, everybody's down,
Yeah.
and if you want anal, that's going to be another level of consent. Everything else was implied up to that point.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's right. That's right. And,
And then did you
because from our standpoint, like, you got to prepare for that.
exactly?
You know what I mean? So if I haven't
it's
prepared, it's not that I don't like it. It's just
it's
that
like
I wasn't ready for that.
it's like when Houdini got punched in the stomach and died because he didn't know it was coming. It's the same way with us.
Yes.
Okay? Don't
Yes.
punch me in the stomach.
And it's far from a pleasant experience when you're like that. You got to be ready. You got to be ready.
Steve,
Yeah.
how many reported fatalities are there in in concurrence with an Arkansas knuckleball?
There are none, but there's been 3 police reports of women knocking men's teeth out.
Oh,
It brings it around. Yes, brings it around.
there you go.
Boom.
Hence, yeah.
Did you
Oh,
did you want
man.
to did you want to do your news story?
Yeah,
and then
I'll do
go
a news
to
story.
Roger.
And
Okay.
this is a great news story. It's a fun one. There's a new cafe in Switzerland,
Okay.
and we've all heard of happy endings in massage parlors and all that good stuff. But now a new coffee shop in Geneva, Switzerland, has opened, and it's called Fellatio Cafe, where you can get a hot cup of coffee with a side of blowjob. You go in this cafe, you order it for 60 Swiss francs, about $50. You get your order. They give you an iPad, and you can select a sex worker of your choice to come give you the blowjob.
Oh, that's awesome.
Is that not great or
Wow.
what? And in 5-10 minutes, it's all over.
Oh,
Wow.
gosh. That is.
And I did research this because I said, well, that sounds a little iffy. I looked it up, and I typed in the name of the Fellatio Cafe and the Swiss blowjob, oral sex blowjob. There's like 15 articles about it. The one I'm reading from now came out of the Maxim magazine.
That's awesome.
So there, yeah, it's great. I'm going, wow.
They are so liberal. That's where it's just people are going to say, hey, if you don't like it, don't look.
You're exactly right. And that's
You
what I was
could just
thinking.
go get a cup of coffee down the street.
That's right. Yeah. Go to Starbucks.
People think of the U.S. being so liberal. When it comes to
no.
sex, no.
No.
We're almost
No.
we're almost
We have-
draconian.
We have
Yes.
so
We
much
are.
further to go.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
totally
so
we
much.
totally do.
We're
And-
still in the Puritan drive, baby.
And
Yeah.
that's why I'm a libertarian, folks. Because
That's right.
let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
So, Roger, do you want to talk next, or you want me to go?
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna do story or a news?
I have a story that leads to a word.
Do your story leads a word because my song leads to party.
Okay. So I actually did prepare for this. Okay. And I found this thing it's a little old. It's from 2015. It's out of a health and wellness magazine. She Knows is what it's called. 10 sex fetishes you won't believe exist. And so, of course, I had to read it because I had to see, do I know that these exist or not? Right. And
have I done them?
That's exactly what I was going to do. I was going to okay, how many of these have I done?
I've done that.
Well, the first one, I know you and me, Barbie, have done because the first one is adult babies. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The guy with the ring lollipop and he wanted to wear the diaper. We've totally done adult babies. Okay. So that one was easy. The second one, I was like, I was like, okay, come on. This is not a weird fetish. It's butt stuff. Okay. So it's
Oh,
anal's pretty common. I'm straight. So this guy has on here that his fetish is that he likes to lick around the asshole. And he likes to lick around him, whether it's male or female. He's not really bisexual, but he loves it. And so he's all into it. I was like, yeah, that's not that big of a deal. Third
nah.
one, we know this because Roger talked about this in season 1. That's episode about milkmaids. Okay. Breastfeeding, right?
Oh
I
yeah.
swear by it.
Uh,
Don't shame
Right.
it. Just try it.
no, yeah, that's
Right.
right. You
Swear by
just
it.
try it.
The fourth one is feet. That's foot
Oh
hooker.
yeah, that's pretty.
We were kind of talking about
Shrimping.
feet and toes, shrimping. We were talking about that, and then we were talking about Landon and the guy wanting to do the knife thing between them and stuff. The fifth one is furries.
Oh
And
yeah.
keep in mind this was in 2015, so people didn't really know what a furry was. And yes, I think that kink has gotten into the not so much of a weird thing, but a little bit more accepted.
That
The
is on
sixth,
my list.
you want to do a
Ah,
I
furry?
want to bang a furry.
Okay.
if anybody's
Oh.
listening and knows someone.
I just at like not a furry that shows up to a swinger event. Like I want to bang a furry at a furry event. And I won't be there as a furry. It just like anyway. We're
So
gonna get weird if we keep going. Go ahead.
that's
Oh
exactly
yeah,
why
it's gonna get weird.
I picked this out to get weird. Okay. So
All right.
the
All right,
sixth
keep
one,
going.
the sixth one is hair. And it says,
Oh.
"What's so weird about a hair fetish?" The somebody from Reddit basically says, "My ex thought it was weird as hell." And then Connie, a former guest on the Dr. Phil show, revealed how her husband's hair fetish affected their marriage. She said he wanted her to wrap the hair around his dick on a regular
Oh.
basis, and that it was kind of bizarre. I don't really think that's that weird. Oh, Steve's
Ah.
raising his hand. It's there, huh? You like the hair?
I've done it a few times with Elle, and it is just, oh my goodness. But as you all know, she has a thick head of hair. Yes, it's very nice. Been there, done that.
Well,
Okay.
Uh-huh.
yeah, I won't say it's a fetish, but so like I've been out like on a party night, but had to work some of the weekends, so I had to go into work the next day or something like that. And I'm going to the bathroom about mid-morning and discover a long hair wrapped around my dick. I go to, pull it out, and it makes me smile. Like, oh yeah, that's good times. I won't call it a fetish though. Anyway, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay. We're coming to the first one that I did not know this name.
Okay.
Number 7 is Omorashi. Omorashi. Does anybody got a guess on what Omorashi is? First,
Yeah.
it starts out and says Omorashi fetish may be hard to wrap your mind around. It's best to let the anonymous Redditor explain. I have an Omorashi fetish and have had it for as long as I can remember. For those who don't know, Omorashi is a fetish with a variety of focuses. However, the most basic definition is that Omorashi is when you get aroused either by you or another individual experiencing a full bladder and becoming desperate before eventually wetting themselves. For some people with the fetish, the pleasure can derive from the desperation, humiliation, and the sight of wet clothing, the knowledge that a wetting accident is a major taboo, or a mixture of all of these things.
Water sports.
Wow.
Yeah, but that one, I mean, that I understand, I guess, the water sports thing, but holding it, until it's uncomfortable.
Right. Oh, I don't think so. Can I fuck you until I really fuck the pee out of you? Is that I mean, I suspect that Big Dick Donnie had something like this because he used to ask me, he used to beg me to do golden showers on him, and maybe that's part of the golden shower stuff. I don't know. Number 8 is periods. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Earn your Red Wings.
And your Red Wings. There you go. 9, we know this because we think Steve has it. We're pretty sure that Roger has it. Pregnancy.
Oh, look at he has 2 thumbs up. If you could see it
Two
right
thumbs
now.
are up. 2 thumbs are up. Pregnancy Steve has 2 thumbs up. And number 10, this was the other one I didn't know. Squashing.
Was that the sitting on the
Oh,
cake?
It's not
Is
it's
that
not sitting on the cake. It is not.
It's sitting a big fat ass on your face.
Uh,
no. Is it
It's
really?
very close. It's very close, Roger.
Oh,
You want to guess, Steve? You want to guess?
well, I was going to do something where, like a BDSM thing, where women take their high heels and squash a man's balls against the floor or
That's
something.
now that is another kink, and there is a name for it, and I've done that one before. So if we're playing Never Have I Ever, yes, I've done that one.
Oh,
This one, but I don't know what that kink is named. This one says a few years back, Dr. Drew interviewed a guest named Massive Mocha on his TV show. The world has never been the same since Mocha introduced viewers to squashing, a potentially dangerous fetish where large ladies sit on men for pleasure. So
like
big
on
ass
their
woman.
face or
The video shows her whole ass, just the guy's laying on the bed and she's just gonna sit her ass down on everything.
Oh.
He's a little guy. I've seen these videos, and I think I remember that Dr. Drew episode. I think
Right.
I remember it. I think it was a Dr. Drew After Dark.
So I mean omarashi and squashing. I was just like,
Um,
yep. So those are my words in my news
Those,
story.
yeah, that's a good one.
those are
Those,
good.
those are good.
Roger,
You
it's
know,
your turn.
okay.
So wait,
So
Steve wants to say something.
no,
What
I
do
was
you
just
want
going
to
to say
say?
I was just going to say it's interesting how one of us or within the group have done at least most of those.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
And
I
some
mean that
some could be a part of
Go
the
ahead. Go ahead.
Olympics.
Yes.
Some could be part of the Olympic event.
true.
I'm gonna
I'm
go,
not doing that bladder thing. Mm-mm.
I'm going to be on record that the game we play where a high heel squishing my ball is will be called Never Will You Ever. That's the game. So
Excuse me.
moving on, moving on. My song this week,
Okay.
and I'll tell you right now, I'm rolling it back old school. You're rolling to a party. You're not, you just need something new, but you want to get in that mood. Go old school. Uh, Everyone's a Winner by Hot Chocolate.
That is old school.
I told you it was
Oh.
old school.
Wow.
And so that's my song this week
Mhm.
because I dedicate it to the box that I checked on my list last Saturday night.
Woohoo!
And the song probably gives it away. Um, so there's a house party in our area, and I've talked about it, and I've done some party recaps on it. But this one was special for a couple reasons. This couple's been hosting these parties for 17 years, and this was their 100th party.
Wow.
Imagine that.
Wow. No, I can't even.
That's
You want
awesome.
to talk about like being everybody's been in a cheap hotel room, talked about black light in the room and walls. There's been so much jizz in this house. Anyway, I mean they keep it clean. They've got cleaners and stuff. But going back to the song, checked the box, and it's not that I had never been with a black girl. I was just wanting to catch kind of a wild and vocal black girl at a party.
Okay.
It just the vocal. I mean, it's been my experience. They're gonna say things a little different than what you'll normally hear. But and I knew they were there. I saw her, and she's really good looking. It was a couple, and I actually went into the playroom with another lady, and you know, you go to these parties, you see people, and you miss a connection, and just like okay, next time. Next time, I've got you
Right.
next time. And that was one of those, was coming back to a miss. So we go into the room, we're just kind of getting started, and this black couple kind of merges on over, and he kind of, the girl starts messing with the lady I was with, and he leaned over and was like, "Hey, is this okay?" And I was like, "Sure." Which is why I preach. Go into this stuff, go to these parties, go into these stuff with no agenda. No agenda.
Exactly.
Go,
Exactly.
just be in the moment.
Yeah.
And the girl I was with, she was okay. She's a baller. So it just got, it kind of heated up, and then he pushed that girl on me. Now I had a moment, mind you, like this was like round three, and when you get later into the night,
Oh.
performance starts to get more in question. But here I've got this fine, curvy black girl that's just smoking ass on her. I'm just like, please don't fail me now. Don't fail me now. This is your moment. You're on the mound. It's fourth quarter. It's time to drive it home.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe I'm the only
And
one that says that stuff to
and
myself. Oh,
and
well, I mean, she starts, okay, so she starts kissing on me and says, takes a play out of my book when I'm in a deep kiss with a girl and there's a lot of tongue. She goes, "Give me your tongue." I'm like, well, that's my, that's my move. It was really hot. Performance wasn't a problem. Um, she she went down to start blowing me, and she's kind of starting to blow me and holding a finger up, like, hang on, hang on, hang on, like, and I'm just like, okay, we're all right. What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know if she was just setting up the right angle. I don't know. And all of a sudden, she grabs the back of my ass, but like my hips, and just was using my cock to blow out the back of her throat. That is just the most accurate way I can articulate what took place right then. Um, it was rough. If if I were, I mean, if I were given blowjobs, you would have to pay a lot for that. um, so, and then I mean that transition, she started to bend over, and I'm just like, nah, nah, we're going to Pound Town. And it I mean, it was funny because, right, we're on the bed, but the guy has that girl I started with bent over the bed, and like he's cheering me on. It was kind of wild there for a bit. Um, I went as long as I could. I rolled off of her, just pouring sweat, out of breath, just
A hell
reaching
of a
for
workout.
any towel or anything to just wipe off. Oh man.
Hell of a
The-
workout.
oh, it was. That's why you do cardio.
Yeah.
That's why I said on episode, I think I said it in the first five. I can't remember which one.
Right.
Get in the gym. Take care of yourself. Get in the gym. You're gonna want to get in the gym once this kicks.
Right.
Um,
Ladies, you want to do yoga, you want to do Kegels,
Yeah.
and then you want to
Yeah.
do long walks and cardio. Yeah, yeah. Now, um it remi- so uh I'm sure if somebody listened to all these, they'll probably end up figuring out who I am. But I didn't get braces until late in my life. Okay. And so I got braces. Oh gosh. I was well into lifestyle when I got the braces put on. And I remember I I was sitting in that orthodontist office, and I was one of the last patients of the day or whatever, and whatever procedure they were doing, I had to open my mouth wide, and she's like, open your mouth wide and just make sure that you don't, this is going to be for a while. Try not to gag, try not to swallow anything. We're going to do this thing or whatever. And I can't remember if it was them taking the plasters or whatever. I don't even know what procedure it was, but I know it involved keeping your mouth open and not swallowing. And so I did it very easily. And when we got done with the procedure, she goes, I just love working on adults. She goes, you were just so much better than the children. And I go, well, it's because I've given a lot of blowjobs, ladies. They all freaked out laughing. I mean, it was like,
that's my girl.
it's like, I just slipped out my mouth, as a matter of fact, because like you think everybody that you forget sometimes that you don't have a bunch of lifestylers around you. And I was like, well, it's because I've given a lot of blowjobs. This was nothing compared to when they take and shove it in the back of your mouth.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Introducing Coconut Slickums, the ultimate personal lubricant that brings a touch of tropical paradise to your most adventurous sex party moments. Made from 100% pure coconut oil, Coconut Slickums offers a silky smooth glide that's as natural as a unicorn breeze practicing the rule of 6 or DP. No more worrying about synthetic ingredients or greasy residues. Just a luscious moisturizing experience that feels as good as it sounds. Perfect for enhancing intimacy or just adding a bit of luxurious fun to your day. So go ahead, indulge in the tropical treat your skin deserves with Coconut Slickums. Because when it's this smooth, it's always a perfect day at the meet and greet. To learn more, visit BeyondMonogamyPodcast.com.
Let's get back to hearing from the guilty.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh my God, that's fantastic. Hey, I'll bet with your braces in the lifestyle, you probably check some boxes for some fetishes.
I did for Big Dick Donnie. For Big Dick Donnie,
he loves that.
You really sold the schoolgirl thing.
He loved biting his dick.
Biting. He likes it rough.
He would love to take that dick and just scrub it over your teeth. It was not a 15-year-old girl thing. There are guys that just have this fetish, and he had that one. I was like, I'm going to make him some bleeding. He's like, no, this is awesome. And he would pop on a regular basis.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yes. See, you check some boxes.
Yes, I wore them for 2.5 years, but it was one of the advantages of giving lots of blowjobs is it made it extremely easy for me to have, and I still to this day have dental work, no problems.
Yeah, that's right. My jaws are in good shape. So just, yep. I like the part about not swallowing. That's funny. Yeah.
Right. I can do that.
I can swallow too. I can swallow it too.
Right. I can also take the liquid going down my throat, but that was just
not
way
a problem.
too much information.
Not a problem.
It worked out like this. So
did you feel robbed when they came over with the sucker and was sucking it out and you didn't get to swallow it? Did you just kind of have a little moment there that you felt robbed?
I got to tell you, on a yearly basis, when I sit down in the dentist chair every year, I'll get my teeth cleaned every 6 months. I will sit down in the dentist chair and I will there's a little bit of smile just thinking about it and being like, yeah, this is nothing compared to what I've done. We could do a train of blowjobs. Let's go.
And to think,
go ahead.
And to think, when I go every 6 months, I get X-rays once a year. I gag when I put that little thing in there to take my X-ray.
Because you men are pussies when it comes to that. Yes, that's true.
Yep.
Let me throw
Take
this
some
out.
practice.
So at said party, believe it or not, there is another guy. There's another Roger, and he is a fan of our podcast, and he listens.
Oh,
and he's like, he goes, yeah, and he stays pretty current. Then he'll go back and listen to some others, and he'll come back and catch up on ours. He's like, I thought about emailing you guys. What do you want him to send you? I mean, I know we kind of say the same thing, but uh, what do we want him to email us about?
So what I want to know from these guys, like from Roger 2,
Yep, the other
okay,
Roger.
from Roger 2, I want Roger 2 to tell me if he had me and Barbie alone in a room for 1 hour's time, what are we doing to make him happy?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Good question. Good question. That's right.
Because I get tingly just asking the question. Okay.
Mhm.
Right. So, this is not supposed to be porno podcast or anything else like that. It's, we're supposed to be really delving into the real stuff, but that's the real stuff. So if somebody would
That
sit
is the
down and
real
ask,
stuff. Yeah.
it is
That
the
is
real
the
stuff.
real
If somebody
stuff.
would say, hey, what do you want? What do you want to know? I want to know what turns you on. I want to know
Yeah.
what rocks your world. I want to know how can I make you happy? Because I am a people pleaser. So I want to know how can I make you happy? And there's only a few things that I'm not going to do. Okay, that we've
Right.
already said. I'm not doing the bondage stuff. I'm out.
Yeah.
So if he says to me, it would be tie you up and do all that. Nope, it's
Nope,
not going to
nope, nope.
happen with
That's
me.
not what he's gonna say.
Right. So
Okay.
what
I
I'm
know
just
him well
saying,
enough. That's not what he's gonna say.
I had a bad experience a long time ago. You can't talk me out of it. Bondage is not for me. There are plenty of women out there who really like the bondage thing. That's great. Okay. And that's when I would defer to Barbie and say, maybe this is yours.
Uh-huh. But I want to be the Dom. I'll take it on. I'll take you
Now,
on.
well, so 'cause I've been the Dom where I've blindfolded a guy and I've done the blindfold stuff. Like I think I told you guys about, we played the game of what's stuck inside your pussy. They blindfolded you and they took a bunch of different objects and they had like, I don't know, one of them was a cucumber, one of them was corn on the cob, okay? One of them was like a dildo, and then one of them was somebody's dick, okay?
If
And
that's not an Olympic event, nothing is. Identify the object.
what's inside of you?
I thought I was just gonna eat grapes and have to keep count.
Oh, that's a
But
different
now
one.
you're like, this is different. We switched to an ear of corn. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Barbie, I think you were in the room when we played this game because I think it was
I think
way
so,
back, a
too.
long time ago. We did
Oh,
this
it was a
together.
long time ago. Yeah, we did.
Right. I don't know whose idea it was. It was pretty fun. I'll do the blindfold thing. Just
Oh,
you're not tying me up. Okay. You
no.
are not tying me up so I can't stop something from happening. You're just not. But anything else. I want Roger too to come on and talk to us. Forget emailing. Let's get him on I mean, we've had a couple of guests. We love talking to Diablo. We love Beauregard. We got to get Beauregard to come back. Those are great. But yeah, let's take another guest and get another input. And find out. I'm going to ask him the usual stories. What's your best story? What's your worst story? But when I'm really getting down to it, it's let me know what would you do with us?
So that's great, and I have no doubt he'll send that. Between now and him hearing this, because I'm tempted to text him, but I don't want to. I want this to happen naturally. I'm going to work on my best Gomez Adams accent to read this to you. Uh, but then, I bet he'd absolutely love to come on. I don't know if he's a week evening during the week, or sometimes we do our Sunday morning coffee talk.
Coffee talk. We do a coffee talk.
Coffee talk.
We don't really
But
tell you guys when we're doing it, but yes, we're recording sometimes in the evening, sometimes on the weekend, because all of us have jobs and kids and stuff.
I will
Lies.
tell you that what he said and what he's just on the edge of his seat. So this is probably something that he is waiting on, like, with bated breath to hear more about Cop de Og.
Ah.
You had mentioned it, and he's like, that's what he's waiting to hear about, is more about that, and talking about, he
Okay.
was saying, we got to get this trip on the books, and I'm like, fuck yeah, we do. You damn right. So,
Yeah, so I can tell you a little bit and then I have longer stories for another time. The first time that we went to Cop de Og was um, during the winter break. I've said that I've been over in Europe on business on a regular basis, typically around Christmas and New Year's time.
yeah.
And then for us, um, Fabio found this and said, "Hey, there's a place. Everything I'm watching on SDC and some other place, people are talking about it, is called Cop de Og." And I was like, yeah, yeah. And he's like, it's in southern France. And I go, okay, fine. Okay. And then he goes, I think I'd like to go there. And I said, well, tell me about it. And he said, it's the biggest swingers colony in the world. And he said, it's the bigger swingers gathering place. He said, in the winter, there's probably 6,000 to 7,000 people there. In the summer, it swells to about 40,000 people.
Wow.
It swells,
Wow.
Steve.
Swells.
Swells. It
Swells.
swells. Yes. And so you can look it up, like people, it's COP, CAP, then a little dash and a day, DE, and then it's AGDA is AGDE. So you can look it up and research it, COP to AGDA. They will have, I'm sure there's videos out there. So he says the videos that he shows me, it shows a bunch of people on the beach fucking. A bunch of people on the beach fucking. It shows they have a circular pedestal thing that's on the beach that is designed for you to walk up the steps and be fucking in front of everybody else on the beach. So I'm like, okay, if you're an
Fun.
exhibitionist,
Yeah.
this is the place to be. And he says, because I really want to go there. And he goes, I think we should take a couple days and go from Paris, take the train down and go to Cop Dog. And then he goes as far as to figure out what is the transportation there. And so we decide, okay, we'll just rent a place for 4 or 5 days. And he says, we'll just rent it and see what's up. Right. So it was just me and Fabio the first time that we went. So we take the train and we show up to this place, and there are huge, like, settlements. They are like, I want to say, like an Olympic Village where they have the bunker type patio on each apartment that's kind of staggered, and they're in like circles, in like 3/4 circles, or just like horseshoe type stuff. There are these buildings out there, and there's 2 or 3 of them. Okay, and we had booked a staying in one of those, and it was just a 1-bedroom apartment, and it had little stove, and you walked out on the balcony. And when we had first talked to somebody on the train who was coming down to go to Cop Dog, we said, these apartments look kind of small, and they go, because you're not coming down there to stay in the apartment. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not coming down to stay in the apartment. The amenities in the apartment are not the reason that you're going. And I was like, okay. So, you get there, and we get to this apartment, and we check in our stuff, and we decide. Now it is the weather is 45 or 50 degrees. So it's not real warm. It's because it's in end of December, beginning of January.
So are
so
most
it's
of
kind
the
of,
activities outside then?
well, in the winter, no, but in the summer, yes. Okay. So in the winter, so we check into one of our condos. It's a big complex. Okay. And so we rent the one condo, we check into it, and then we go walking in out to explore. And then there is like a whole mall type of indoor mall type of stuff that's got lingerie shops and sex toy shops and, a little market. So if you want to get something to go back and cook with or whatever, and then there's a restaurant, and then there's another kind of restaurant, and then there's clubs, and there's, a couple of indoor clubs that where we were in the winter was people were walking around in this mall and they were going into these different clubs. And so we were just like, we have no clue what we're doing. Okay. We had just found Moon City. And so we're like wondering, are these clubs going to be like Moon City? And we hear from other people, yeah, they're kind of like Moon City. They may not have as many amenities that Moon City has, but yeah, they're kind of the same. You're going in there to find other people to fuck around and play with. And then, so we go and we walk past a couple of these shops. We decide to sit down and eat at a restaurant. And you're wearing clothes. Okay. There are some people that are stupid enough that are not wearing clothes, or they're wearing they're totally naked and then a vest. Okay. And it's like, what the hell? Okay. Is your ass going to be cold or whatever? So we go.
Is this the winter or summer?
It's winter. Okay. This is off-season winter. It's cheap. Off-season winter. It is southern France. Okay. The beach is out there. There's no way you're swimming in the water because it's too cold. Okay. And I'm not going on the beach because there's just not, it's too cold. Okay. So we're walking around this whole facility. We're looking at the different clubs. We decide for that first evening, we're going to eat at one particular restaurant. So we sit down to eat at the restaurant, and we're sitting outside on the patio of this restaurant. They have the heat warmers and stuff for you to eat. So we're sitting there, and we're talking to each other, and this is where Fabio is so good. Okay. Another couple is sitting next to us, and they're talking, and it sounds French, and it sounds, the guy sounds like he's French, that they're speaking French, but then they start speaking English. And so Fabio turns to them and says, "Hi, I'm Fabio. This is Janet." And the other couple says, "I'm Kat, and this is James." Okay. And then she says, "Are you Americans?" And here's the thing is, you guys think that people are not going to understand that you're Americans. They can tell from the way you're talking. You cannot hide your accent. And so you can't go, "No, I'm from England," or whatever. So, "Oh, yes, we're Americans."
Bullshit,
go,
you're from Texas.
I thought so. And it's like, are you, and it's, are you Southern, and yes, I sound like I am Southern drawl. I sound like I am Texas. I sound like I'm from Georgia. I sound like I'm from Southern. This is Southern. I will tell you all that I did not grow up.
Oklahoma when we hear it.
That's it. Right. Okay. So they're like, "We're American." And we said, "We're American." And so they start talking to us, and they say, "We're from Belgium." Okay. And I'm like, "Oh, this is great. You're from Belgium." And so they pull they go, "Can we eat with you?" And they pull their table over. And so now they're just sitting next to us, and it's the four of us that are having a discussion. There is no question, are you a swinger or not? Because if you're sitting in a cafe in Cap d'Agde, you're a swinger. Okay. You are. Yeah. You know what you're doing. And so they start telling us that they own an apartment there, that they actually have just bought into a second apartment there. And then they tell us that they rent them during the summer, but they like to come down on the off time and make sure everything is okay, and that they really love visiting there. And they come from Belgium, and they come 2 or 3 times a year to visit this place. It's a wonderful place. It's a wonderful place for you to get to meet other lifestylers. And it's great if you just want to fuck a stranger. Okay.
That should be
fabulous.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I think I'm in heaven. Okay. It'd be a little bit better if it was a heated pool somewhere, but I think I'm in heaven. Okay. On this. And so we talked to them and became
Babe,
friends
I know
with
where
them.
we're moving to when I retire. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
And so they start telling us that, that they had visited there once or twice, and that they started spending so much money on the apartments that they decided they may as well just go ahead and buy one. So then they bought one, and then they've made so much money by renting it out to other people that they decided to go ahead and buy a second one. And I said, do your children know that you own an apartment at Cap d'Agde? Because they have 2 children. And she said, oh, hell no. And she said, they'll find out when we die.
Oh, won't that be a showstopper?
Surprise.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
A hidden asset.
And you'll know which kid is the freak when it doesn't get left to them, and they're like, "That's bullshit."
Yeah.
Anyway,
so we became friends with us. They helped us navigate other things around. And then I will save the next story because Steve knows this story, but I will save it for another podcast. Maybe it's a continuation, the next one, because this is where Fabio earns his nickname. He's the King of Belgium.
so I won't forget that. I'll make sure you tell that. So I mean, for somebody, I'll say like me, but just somebody just listening and like, shit. And I'm gonna put myself in this category. I'm sitting here looking at putting a Bliss cruise on the calendar for like next fall. It's just a ways out there, and I'm just sitting here like, so what season is ideal to go in?
So, the coldest is, of course, in the middle of the winter.
Is it enjoyable or is it like
it was? I was fucking inside. It was great. Okay, I'm gonna have a great time.
was
right?
it harder to meet people?
No, not really. I mean, each time I've gone, I've never had a problem meeting people, but that's never been my problem. Okay, I'm
just like, do you just walk down the hall and pick a door and knock and like, hey, I'm here for the gangbang?
We met this couple, and then we invited them back, and I'll tell that story later. But you can also go into the clubs and you meet people within the clubs.
The clubs, okay.
So there's the clubs that are in there, and then our other friends from Paris, I've never seen them exactly. I've never met them exactly down at Cap d'Agde, but they're also aware of it. And there was one year that he sent me an email with a note that just basically said, hey, I just wanted you to know that she made it to the pedestal and she had a great time.
On the beach.
And that's the roundabout on the beach?
Yeah.
So I'm going to plan a trip. I'm going to go there. How many days?
I think it's going to depend upon your schedule and stuff. I mean, if you're only there for a couple of days, you're only there for a couple of days. But I'm also the kind of person that so in the middle of the summer is when it gets from 6,000 people to 40,000 people. And what happens is the condo units get filled up pretty quick. Like I said, I think there's 2 or 3 of them, the horseshoes. I mean, there's a lot of them. But then a lot of people, there's campgrounds, and a lot of people will camp. And then they will pitch tents or whatever out on the campgrounds and then come in. At another time, I'll tell you this story also. At another time, I met this guy, Sussex man, and he was at the club, and he was like, so are you guys staying at the tents? And I was like, no, we're staying at the condo. And he goes, ooh, rich people. And he goes, I love fucking a rich girl.
Well, I'm just sitting here like, I mean, I could maybe do a tent, but like, especially if there's like group showers.
No, I'm not a camper.
I'm not
maybe I would just stay in my condo and go down to the group shower.
Yeah,
right.
And then go back
with the common folk in tents.
I've been there in December. I've been there in May. May we went with Bill and Miranda, and that's more stories for me to tell you. So I'll just set up a couple of stories. One of them is Sussex Man. I'll tell you about him at another point. I'll tell you about the King of Belgium, and then I'm going to tell you about what Miranda saw. Okay. What Miranda saw is one of my third cop to ox stories. Sometimes I've never seen it. She's never seen it before, and I don't think we'll ever see it again. But wow, we saw it cop dogged.
All right.
I
Well,
I could see living out a beach fantasy, and I'll probably end up going in some summer months where cooler weather's not a concern. But I'll tell you, there's something that's hot to think about. You know, I'd like to just be strapped to a bed similar to that movie Misery. Maybe not with a
Hmm.
block between my ankles waiting to be broke with a sledgehammer. Like, let's scratch that. But just strapped to a bed and left there. And
I'm
just
sure that's
random
there.
women who don't even speak English coming in
yes.
and just sucking it, getting it hard and jumping on it and doing their
I'm
thing,
sure there's a
clean it
club
up,
or a room
leave.
for you
30
at Cop
minutes
Dog.
later, another one comes.
I
I
know
mean,
there's a room
Uh-huh.
in
that's
Paris.
kind of fucking
I
hot.
know
That
there's a room in Paris for you, and I know that there's probably one at Cop Dog. Yes, because they're going to cater to it. They make fun of us, they're like you silly Americans and your sex cruise things. You think you get on a boat and you screw around for a couple of days.
it's like, oh, I know we're so
Yeah.
funny. It's my first time. Show me how it should really be done. It's like my first time.
Right.
That's
So
right.
I will, but I promise I will tell you more Cop Dog stories.
All
So
right.
yes, thank you, Roger, too, for the topic. And then we will try to keep. Maybe the next time I will tell you about the King of Belgium.
Yes. Yeah.
So for all of you people that have made it this far, and we've referenced episodes that you haven't heard or you can't remember, the best place to find them, besides all the places that you're listening, which have most of the old episodes, is on our website, which is beyondmonogamypodcast.com. Smash all those words together, beyondmonogamypodcast.com, spell monogamy correctly. And there you will find all of the old episodes, season 1, season 2, and then forward also, there is a place to tip Mandingo, who is the producer of the show, who does this for free. And then there is also a place to email Roger and email me. So if somebody, and I don't care if it's Roger too or anybody else wants to email us, hey, what do you want to do with us? We always love to read that stuff. Okay, unless you mail me something that's really scary, and then I'm going to be like, okay, no.
I I haven't said
But
it in a few, but the email address mine is spit roast with us, all one word. It's a real email. Don't worry about it coming up in your email where somebody looking over your shoulders going, "What's that?" It's just gonna say Roger. But uh
right.
anyway,
Well, and mine is the Janet Valentine. So, but it's easiest just to pop it through. And there's a little place to do it. You can do it from the website. Send us a note. We are very happy to hear from you. I'm very happy for all you flies on the wall who've made it through. And until next time. And yes, the teaser is more Cop to Og stories to come. And of course, Steve will have more words for us, and Roger will have more stories. I do know I can also tease one of the next one because I believe Elle is set up for a gangbang this weekend. So I expect a report from
Oh,
Elle on
yeah.
her gangbang.
Yes.
So
Easter
well,
bang bang.
Easter gangbang. Yes.
here
Yep.
comes the bunny.
Yep.
So thanks for everybody.
She'll be hopping down the slutty trail.
Ooh, good
Oh,
for her. That's a good
That's
one.
right. Well,
and-
so go ahead.
I was going to say we may have a special guest coming on.
Okay. We have another, possibly another guest. We'd
Yeah.
love to have our outside guest coming in. Somebody from Steve's area that would love to talk about some stuff. Always love to hear other people's stories. That's what we love. Anyway, so thanks for making it through the podcast, and I hope that you come again, and come again, and come again.
That's it for this episode of Beyond Monogamy. We hope you enjoyed our podcast, and we look forward to having you back again for the next episode of Beyond Monogamy.